Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those who are new here, I'm Liliana, and in today's video it's a beautiful two-tier buttercream cake with an ombre effect and some fondant flowers. If you guys want to see how I made this, well, keep on watching. So first of all, this cake was made with buttercream, and it's a 2-tier cake. The bottom is a 7-inch and the top is a 5-inch. And then both tiers are made with 3-level cakes, and in between is just buttercream on the rim, and on the inside with dulce de leche. So what I did is for both cakes, I did first of all my crumb coats, and then pop it in the freezer 5 to 10 minutes, and then did my second coat of buttercream, and I did that for both cakes. So then for the ombre effect, what I did is that for the bottom part and also the top part, I just using a piping bag, I fill it up with yellow buttercream. And by the way, I just use yellow from Wilton for those that want to know, because I keep forgetting on the colors to give you, and everything that I use literally in my videos, I try to link it in my description box of the video. So if you want to know what I use, most likely it's going to be there. Sometimes I forget because I use a lot of products. Just ask me and I'll just respond or send you the link or whatever. So for those who want to know or want to see what I use by curiosity, you can go ahead, and in the description box of the video and everything should be there. So unless it is discontinued. So basically, so I filled up my piping bag with yellow buttercream, and then I placed some yellow buttercream at the bottom of my cake, and then went ahead and then placed white at the top, and I smudged both colors together so that it looks like it's almost like one piece and not so much like here's yellow and here's white. I really wanted like to kind of like blend both colors together. And then you just go ahead, and then with your scraper, you just go around and around and around until everything is nice and crisp. And then pop it in the freezer for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then you get your tier. You do that for both tiers. And then to put them together, you just place, I inserted bubble straws at the bottom of my tier. If you're not satisfied with that, or you're not comfortable because it's plastic straws, you can use also wooden dowels, and that would work also perfectly. So this is it. Or even paper straws, so it's not going to be as sturdy, but it works. So you can do that, and then just place a little bit of buttercream in the middle of your straws, and then you place your tier. As you can see, I use my hands. Then you have to make sure that that tier is frozen or really chill before you just take it like that in your hands, because you're just gonna break the whole entire cake. So I would highly suggest a good 10-15 minutes of that cake to be frozen, or at least half an hour in the fridge. So make sure, so like that, you know that the buttercream has set, and you can like simply pick it up with your hands and then place it onto your bottom tier. And you will see it will have like that little tiny little gap in between. It's normal because it's like a little bit more elevated than the one at the bottom. So to hide that, instead of putting like a ribbon, which a lot of bakers do, I keep saying it, I don't like the ribbon because I like when it's like one piece. So a little trick that bakers have is just put a little bit of the same color fondant you use for the bottom of that tier, just a little bit at the bottom, and then you can go ahead and then just scrape it off with your fingers, and then it looks like it's one piece. For the flowers, super easy to do. There's absolutely no wires in this in these flowers. It's simply a toothpick with the stem, not the stem, but the stamen, yeah, that you glue together with floral tape. I use white, or it's almost like clear floral tape to stick to your toothpick, and this will be like the middle part of your flower, the hibiscus flower, but also to help you guide it and then poke it so that it sticks into your cake. So, and then these flowers, I've done it before, but I'm re-showing it here. So basically you just use your cutters, and then always use, well, you can either use gum paste or simply use fondant and add a little bit of Tylose to it. Tylose is like gum tax, so it's the same product, it's just it has a different name. It's like tissue paper or Kleenex, it's the same company, so this is kind of the same concept. So, and then for the color, because it has like a pinkish, like very light color to it, so what I do is that I use a little bit of pink, but also I add a little bit of brown gel food coloring, and then it creates like that that pinkish color. So I have one right here. So as you can see, this is what I was talking to you about before. So there's absolutely no wires in this whatsoever. This piece is completely dry. And then you have this that you put in the middle like that. And then you can also place another round fondant at the bottom so that this doesn't move if you really want it to stay in put. And then just place a little bit of buttercream and then place it on your cake and it will not move. To give it a little bit more depth in the color, what I do is I also brush edible powder to the petals of my flower. Now just be very careful, because powder in the baking business, there's a lot of beautiful pigmented powders out there, but they are not edible. So make sure that you have the label that it is edible, because yes, these are decorations. 98% of the time, even if it's not even 99, clients will not eat this. But you'll always have that one client that wants to try it, or that one child that wants to try it, and then you're gonna feel bad if the piece that you put onto the cake, it's that whatever you use is not edible. So super, super important, everything that you're using on a cake has to be edible. So this is how I made these flowers, and then basically you just do your petals, you stick them together with a little bit of water. Water and fondant creates glue, and then you just stick it to a glass with a little bit of aluminum foil. So you place this into an aluminum foil and then on top of a glass, and then you just let it like this dry for at least 48 hours, and then you will get a flower like this. So that's for that. For the other greenery, basically what you need to do is I always start with different shapes of green, and then I can go ahead and paint all my pieces with different shades or the same shade of edible green powder, and it just gives that like three-dimensional cute effect. So what you need to do is, because sometimes the colors are difficult to work with, you just take your cutter and then you place fondant on top, and then you roll out the fondant using your roller. And you don't want your fondant to be thick, you want it a little bit thinner, on the thinner side, but not too thin or else it's gonna break. So basically you want about this much, so it's not too thin, not too thick. And then yeah, so you roll it out, and then you'll see it's just gonna come out easily. If not, you can take just a little bit of a toothpick, and then you just help the cutter to, I mean not the cutter, but the fondant to separate from the cutter, and then you let it dry completely again for 48 hours. It's best to wait until your pieces are completely dry before brushing or painting your pieces, because once it's dry, it hardens, and then it's going to keep its shape. If you paint over it or dust some powder over it, it's most likely just going to create like creases, and it's just not going to keep its shape, and it's just not going to be as clean. So just let your piece dry there. I know sometimes we get eager, we want to make, you know, everything fast, but it's better to wait. And then you can go ahead and then simply paint. What I do for all my pieces, I don't brush the whole entire thing with powder, I just do the edges. So like that, here it's one color, and then you get the darker color on the outside. So see, it was this color. It was literally that color, and then by painting it, it became this. So it kind of gives like a three-dimensional whatever going on, and same thing for the flower. It was actually this color, and then you get like this. And then, oh, to create the frills also of the flower, I forgot to mention, simply take a toothpick and then you go around and then it creates those little frills. A lot of times when you want to do this, it sticks to your counter or your mat. So just use a little bit of cornstarch, and then you're gonna see it's not going to stick as much, or almost not at all. So, and then I created also the other little flowers using another cutter, and then painted the middle part, and then had some molds for the leaves, and that was it. Simply glued everything with buttercream, and there you go. You have a beautiful wedding cake or a party luau cake, and that's it. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell button so you get notified of all the videos that I put up. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.